8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Drag racing fan, the silly season news continues. We get ever closer to Nitro testing, and it was a cold one down in Florida. Ready to talk some drag racing right here on the Competition Plus Power Hour, presented by Weldon High Performance. And I'm not the only one yakking it up tonight, as usual, always. And I'm honored to have my co-host, Slammin' Sam. Sam, how's it going, man?
What's up, Lee? What's up, Lee? What's up, Lee? What's up, Competition Plus World? Everybody, the boys and girls, the cats and the dogs. Man, it's Tuesday night. We get to talk a little drag racing. Destroyer 13, man, what is up? Freezing cold up here in the northern plains. The wind's blowing. Cows are howling. We just all want to go racing, man. And who would think it's cold in Florida? Cold in Florida. Lee.
Cold enough that a race, a prestigious race had to be canceled.
Man, what is cold in Florida? Like that it doesn't make sense. But
I thought it was 70, but apparently it dipped out. I mean, so I was watching the Rolex 24-hour at Daytona, and they were dealing with like 35 degrees into the night in the 24-hour, and obviously Bradenton was dealing with similar temperatures, and they just could not get enough heat in that track. Amazing that we have a race canceled in Florida. But as I was talking with you earlier, Sam, it's good to see the response online and social media. So many times people dive on that keyboard and they're like, "Oh, this sucks. You could have done something." But positive. It's been positive. People are like, "Hey, that was the safe move. We understand it. It sucks, but it's better for people to go with their cars intact and no one injured."
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Destroyer 13, he's saying it again right here. Safety is everything, and no matter what, no one's car, like you would hate that, right? It's the beginning of the year. It's that first race that you're going out to, and you would hate to go ahead and wreck something at the first race. So you know what? The safety of the competitors, the safety of the lives of the people that were out there, that was taken into consideration, and they made the right decision. Yes, does it suck? Yes, do you not get that race off or whatever you want to do? But at the end of it, man, it's all about being safe. And so hats off to them. And like you said, hats off to you guys, the race fans, the community of racing that we do have is no one's really upset about this. And that's what's, good to see is that, everyone can walk away. Destroyer 13 in the comments, he already says it is nice here in Arizona. I don't know what part of Arizona he might be in, but
he's in the
it's
Phoenix
kind of
area.
funny. He is. So that's perfect because I might have a layover there, like getting there at like early in the morning and not leaving at like 5 or 6 o'clock at night. So I don't know what I'm going to do in that big gap of time, but hey, man, it's always nice to meet up with you guys. But yes, who would have thought that it would have been cold in freaking 35 degrees, they said. Man, I'm going to tell you this, Lee. It was -4 today. No, it's -6 today where I live in North Dakota with a 40 to 60 mile an hour wind. So if you look at that wind chart, it's too damn cold, okay? I hate to say that. But if it was 35 degrees tomorrow, I'm wearing T-shirt and shorts. And
Yes.
maybe some and my Crocs. I'm still going to put on socks.
I hear you.
But Crocs and socks.
Sam,
for sure.
It may be cold in Florida. It may be cold there in North Dakota and everywhere else. But I think the Competition Plus Power Hour is definitely going to be heating up tonight. We've got a great show lined up. So, who we got, Sam?
Man, we got Mr. Chad Head. And then, like you said, I think the first crack there at Austin Prock coming off of the big announcement that he made. So I'm super excited about that. But Lee, there's one more person on this card that I am super excited that we get to talk to. It seems like it's been ages. I don't know if you remember this guy. Some may call him the pit insider, Mr. Jeff Arin. Like, we get to talk to him again. like Mace said, welcome back. Like I'm excited about this, man. I mean, when do you really get a crack at, the return of the jeweler? Like, does he have silly season news he needs to tell us? Is why he's been taking this hiatus? So,
well, look,
I mean,
he may fill us completely in, but if you were paying attention to social media to a particular funny car team, yes, silly season news is still out there for one of those independent Nitro teams. It's again, I think we're going to roll into Pomona. We may even very well be rolling into Gainesville because some East Coast teams don't really start until Gainesville. I think silly season isn't done until Gainesville. I think we can expect announcements all the way to that point. I don't think our season is going to be solidified until Gainesville, the Gator Nationals 2022. Exciting season for us in NHRA. And, Sam, I really feel like right now there is a positive hype around 2022. I even see it on Twitter, where there's usually so much negativity. I see it on Facebook, so much negativity most of the time, that 2022 looks like it's going to be one of the best NHRA Camping World tours ever.
Dude, I mean, like I said, I'm excited about racing. Like, I think everyone right now is so excited about what's going on, or what, like everyone's so in tune because there's silly season. Basically, in a long story short, silly season has done great things. As much as we kind of all didn't like it, because it's like, okay, what's happening this week? Oh my God, I need to share this. I need to do this. I need to do that. But what's going on is that there's just been so much anticipation of what's going to happen next. You know what I mean? And I hate to compare it, but look at what Tom Brady has done all week, right? All last week. Oh, I'm not retiring. I don't know yet. I don't know this. I don't know. And then he comes out last night and he's on a podcast and he's like, nope. And then this morning at 7:45 drops the news that, I'm retiring. Right. Well, I mean, how do you keep yourself relevant? Staying in the news. How has the NHRA kept him? How has the NHRA kept himself relevant this offseason? Staying in the news.
They stayed in the news. And man, so everything out there, I think right now is positive. I will say the only thing that is somewhat of a negative, and I do wish people would, I feel like I'm preaching to the choir, to the audience that's watching, but there are sometimes some dumb fans out there of any particular sport, and they're following the NHRA as well. But look, the COVID mandates for Pomona, that's not the NHRA's doing. That's LA County. The NHRA can't help it. And it's like, I want to support the NHRA, even though I may not like this stuff going on. I'm still going to go. I'm still going to participate. I'm still going to support NHRA drag racing, the teams I follow and work for. But it's certainly frustrating. But put the blame where it's supposed to be. That's the only thing I got to say on the COVID regulations.
Man, I don't know. I live in a state where we got more cows and horses and sheep and goats and guinea pigs and whatever other animal you possibly could want on a farm than we do people. You know what I mean? I hate to say it, but we do. So you can run to the horse stable or the pig pen with that mask stuff or whatever you believe. But if I'm going somewhere and that's their rules and their requirements, I can't blame someone that is a traveling organization to go from state to state to state. Like, yes, it sucks, but you just got to do it, because without us being there, without you, the fans being out there, without the drivers being there, they may not agree with the mask and this and that, but we do it because we love it. And if you just continue, and I'll get off my soapbox after this, to let people dictate what you're going to do because of a circumstance, they're going to continue to do it, okay? If you go and show them, hey, we'll follow your little rules for this weekend or that weekend, we're going to put on our masks, we're going to do what we need to do, guess what? At the end of it, they'll say, you know what? God dang, we can't cancel the NHRA because all them people come and they support and they do what they're supposed to do. Even if we're limited. We've toiled this mountain many times before. It will be over as long as you just You don't have to always comply, but sometimes just do it, smile, and then it'll be over. And that's all we're going to talk about this. Like, share, subscribe, click, tell a friend, tell your uncle, your brother, your cousin, your sister, your mother to get on right now and watch the Competition Plus Power Hour, because there's a good-looking fella by the name of Slammin' Sam, and then there's a really, really, really good-looking fella over there by the name of Vanilla Ice. I mean, not Vanilla Ice. What does John call you?
the Amish guy. There we go. Amish guy.
The Amish guy. So, I mean, hey.
Speaking of positivity, dude, is it just me, or has the whole Top Fuel ranks stepped up their game on how these Top Fuel dragsters are supposed to look in their schemes?
No. This is a thing. They're all going like either roofing companies or like next level companies. Like how many how many more roofing like this is my deal, Lee. By the end of the season, every NHRA track facility, they should have new, tin on all their roofs at all the facilities. I mean, all these roofing companies are going to be there. You might as well tell them to bring another semi and then load it, and then you can have Phillips Connect do something there with that. I mean,
right.
Why not?
Sam, but look, CMR, we'll talk about that later, but man, what a beautiful looking scheme. What a beautiful looking wrap that is going to be. But CMR Roofing, last week we had Buddy Hull on, Vertex Roofing, and Roger Brogdon in Pro Stock. He owns a roofing company. Well, guess what? They're all Dallas, Texas. We're about to have the Dallas, Texas roofing wars at the NHRA. It's insane. It's great to see.
I think they're going to have to park them next to each other.
Right. Yes. Yeah. I want to roof off. Roof off. Yeah. That's what we need.
Like, yeah, you guys are good. Yeah. We're going to have to park you guys next to each other, and we want to see who can put, since they're roofing companies, park them next to each other and see who can put up their canopy fat. I mean, they should be good at it, right?
Right. I don't want no canvas or fabric canopy. Like, I want a roof now.
Shingle it up, put it down. Yes. I want tar paper, everything every week.
Everything, each and every race.
And then, and the next race, we need a tin roof, different colors, so we can see. I need a couple light fixtures in there. I need you to install the fans. I don't want them just plug in. Like, I need them hardwired to the trailer. So,
yeah.
But I mean, wishful thinking.
But we're not done with roofing companies. I love seeing trucking companies and those involved in the trucking industry, like Phillips Connect. It just is a perfect fit. And announced today, Josh Hart, all R&L carriers, they're going to be big players again. And man, what a solid looking car again. It's simple, green, black, white, but that is a good looking Top Fuel dragster.
But the thing I want to point out there, Lee, look at how big the front of that thing says now hiring. Like, if that's not advertising and return on investment, what is? Like, that's your goal with having a marketing partner, is to give them their return on their investment that they put in you. And Josh could have easily said, hey, I don't really like this now hiring big logo. But you know what? To assume that responsibility and say, hey, man, this is what I am going to do for you. My job is to help you get more employees everywhere I go.
Bingo.
So if that's the word that you want to put out and that's the message you want to tell, I'm telling your message for you. I'm your biggest, spokesperson. So, I mean, like I said, it's really just giving back to the people that give to you and being thankful for, the opportunities. But then again, here we go again. We're talking about it. We're talking drag racing, right? We're talking NHRA. We're talking Camping World. How many new sponsors or marketing partners have we brought into NHRA Camping World category in just the 2022 season already? There's a lot of new things.
We're seeing new names, and we're going to continue to see new names. It is good to see. I think there's definitely a lot of growth and health in the sport right now. And what I like with what Josh Hart is doing, it is not the typical, oh, we're just putting a name on the car for exposure on TV. That car is used by R&L carriers as a hiring and as a morale tool for their potential work base and those who they have already in their workforce. I love how they're using the platform of NHRA drag racing. And Sam, speaking of the platform of NHRA drag racing, we know somebody who has lived and operated on that platform for many, 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 many years.
How many more times can you say many before it's too many?
I don't know if we can go that far.
Okay. So I'm just wondering.
Okay.
Hey, Lee, before you do that, you guys are on here. Again, like, share, spread the gospel. That's a West Buckism. Competition Plus, Tuesday night, the Power Hour, the late night show of drag racing, the show where, well, I don't really know if you want to believe what Lee and I are talking about sometimes, but the place where you can believe where you read. Competition Plus, man, we got Weldon on board, great sponsor. I'm just charged up, man. I'm ready to go. Got the pumpers pumping. Let's go.
Speaking of the pumpers pumping, let's pump the pump, and then we'll have Jeff Arend on.
He's alive! It's the jeweler.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Doing great, Jeff.
Man,
good to have you on, man.
That's good.
Long time no see.
No kidding. It's been quite a while, hasn't it? I guess I was playing hooky all winter long, but time to get back to the Comp Plus Power Hour.
There you
Did
go.
you get a haircut or you got a haircut, didn't you? I can see it.
Like more than one of them, but it's tough when you get old because you get less and less hairs and there's less to cut. Like, kind of sucks. Getting old sucks. So I heard you guys talking a little bit. So, the Pomona rules and restrictions and everything. It's kind of funny because I live like a mile from the track. There was the championship game going on at SoFi Stadium, and they had rules for vaccines and masks and everything. And I don't know if you saw any of the coverage of it, but I would have to guess that maybe 5% of people were wearing masks. The rest weren't. So, it's not NHRA's fault, as we say. It's LA County. You got to put that out there. But I'm not going to say no one's going to actually be telling everybody wearing masks, but I wouldn't be so worried about it myself. Strange times we're living in, that's for sure. But, talking about all the new cars and stuff, I mean, I am really excited to see all the new teams, see how they do, see how they look. I can't remember a time. I mean, there's a lot of racers that have been racing for a long time, but these are all new teams out now. I mean, you got like Hagan and Leah Pruitt, Ron Capps, Austin Prock, Antron Brown, Buddy Hull, Tony Schumacher. I mean, these are big names. They're in the sport. They're coming back. They got sponsors. They're on different teams than they used to be. I mean, it's going to be super exciting. I can't wait for it to start. Trip Tatum is getting all the stuff ready. My buddy Aaron Brooks, he's working on Doug Foley's brand new Lucas Lucas chassis shop car. So anything that Aaron's around usually runs really good. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they all do. Dale's team, they already have the two Toyota Super Bodies. They're all mounted. They're ready for Lexus. Peter and Helen Russo, the people I drive for here and there, they actually got out of Australia, which is kind of a big deal. So they're actually here in Colton, California. And we're going to put some stuff together and try and get the car ready for Pomona. I think we should be able to do it. It's a little tougher than the big teams where they have, 10 people working on each car all winter long. But we're going to try and thrash and get this thing all together and make our Pomona debut. A lot of people don't realize that, they've been gone for a couple of years because of the COVID deal. And there's so many little rules and things that have changed that you have to update your car and get all this stuff done. And a lot of it is welding and fabrication or new parts or whatever, but it's certainly not easy to do, but we're going to give it our best to get ready. And, on other announcements. I know you got Chad on tonight, but Coletta, Salinas, neither one of them has said who's going to be the crew chiefs on the car, which is kind of weird to me because we kind of heard what was going to happen towards the end of last season, and I know a few people involved in it, and I just can't believe they haven't made an announcement yet. But that's kind of one of those little strange, silly season things, I guess. The other thing right now, I mean, and I'm going through this a little bit myself, but parts, they're so hard to get right now. I mean, it is crazy to order anything from seat belts to pistons to crankshafts. This is not like you call them up and you get the thing in a week or two. I got an email from CP Pistons this morning telling the teams that if you want pistons for, Denver, Bandimere, because they run different compression heights, you better get your order in like very soon, next week or two, to get them ready for Denver, which is like friggin' 6 months away. It's just a whole different deal that we're going through right now. It's kind of crazy. I'm looking forward to Pomona. Obviously, I live right around the corner, as we've talked about before, and they ground the track, so it should make it a lot better, a lot smoother. Probably long overdue, but I'm glad they did it. And then we used to talk about the Western Swing like a long time ago in the day. It was like 3 races in a row. Oh my God, it's going to be so grueling. Well, for the teams that are doing Phoenix testing, Phoenix Test, Pomona, and the Phoenix race are all back to back. So they're all 3 in a row. So it's gonna be hard for those big teams to start off right away, especially with the lack of parts and stuff, to get all their stuff together and get everything built and be able to go out there and get through this 3 race swing or Western Swing, as we used to call it. It's going to be a tough way to start the season off. So I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. I know you guys can't wait either, but it's going to be a hell of a season, and it's going to be very exciting.
Jeff, it certainly is. It certainly is going to be a heck of a season. And, Pomona, I think it's going to be interesting with the track, the way that it has been worked on. You never know who might rise to the occasion because of the notebook might not be as reliable anymore. You never know. It might be brand new. You have to start formulating some new notes. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, Pomona is one of those weird tracks where they don't have regular bracket racing, putting rubber down or whatever all the time. It's kind of been like that for many, many, many years. But I think, the NHRA safety safari guys and their track prep are second to none. So, Pomona's always been a fast track. Right now, the weather, at nighttime is down in the 50s. But, I think you're going to see 60s and 70s there. You're going to see some really fast passes. A bunch of the bumps should be gone now. It should make for a super exciting start to the season. That's for sure.
All right, Jeff, you've been gone for so long, so I didn't even email you, but you do have a couple of questions here that I think you just need to answer. So I'll pull these up here. The first one, it says, how much does the header angle downforce add to a Nitro car?
Well, so, a header angle for the longest time, kind of the standard was probably, 40 to 45 degrees laid back. And that's what everybody used to run. And then, back, I think it was in 16 or something, we went to like a 58 degree angle going back. And that picked everybody up about 1/10 of a second. But the cars were way harder to drive. You had to get the balance really right on them. And it was I wouldn't say it was a little bit dangerous, but you saw guys that didn't cross the center line regularly that were going across center line here and there. And then they changed the rule and they're basically at 50 right now, which, made it better. It's probably still close to 1/10 of a second. And, I think it's a good thing, but definitely the headers being back, let them have more forward thrust, took wing away from them. So you don't have to run as much wing anymore, and made the funny cars a hell of a lot faster than they used to be.
All right. So do you think there's going to be a change on the new Toyota funny car body, or do you think they'll keep everything kind of the same that it is now?
Well, so the new Toyota body is actually, I'm not going to say they all look the same, but the Toyota body is a little bit different than the rest of them. So what they've done with the Toyota body is they've allowed you to make the roof or the roll cage, let's say, 2 inches higher, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for guys that are probably over 5'8" or 5'9", things start getting a little bit cramped in the car. The drive shaft's in a certain spot, so the seat has to be a certain height. The roll cage had to be a certain height so the body would fit on it. And then, your mid plate where your feet would go, forward had to be in a standard location. So a lot of the guys that were a little bit taller didn't really have a lot of headroom. They couldn't put a lot of head padding in there for the helmets and everything. So the Toyota body allows you to put a 2-inch higher roll cage in the car, which will give you better vision and everything. I guess the downside is that your old bodies are not going to fit on there anymore because the roll cage is higher, obviously. So I think it's a good thing. And the Toyota guys, I used to drive for Toyota for a long time. Their R&D department's pretty well second to none. So they do some crazy stuff at the track to help out all the teams. They have programs where you can punch in like what the headwind is or the tailwind is or whatever. If you want to get the same amount of downforce, they tell you what wing to run. They basically have a piece of a starting line racetrack with rubber on it on the roof of their trailer all weekend, and they measure the temperature so they can more accurately predict what the track temp is going to be when you go to run. And for you guys that don't know, the track temp is basically, forget the atmospheric conditions and how good the air is and everything. In a Nitro car, the track temp really predicts how fast you're going to go or how slow you're going to go. The hotter the track gets, the slower you're going to go. So, having all that data and everything really helps the teams out a lot. Is a Toyota body, the new style one, going to be like a 1/10 of a second faster than any other body? Probably not. But, the more efficient you get the body, the lower you can run the wing, and the lower you can run the wing, the quicker you can go. So it's going to be a really interesting season. I'm looking forward to see how all the cars run. I think it's an excellent playing field. It's pretty level right now.
Man, good news, Jeff. Look, thank you for the inside information. Look forward to seeing you at the track and hopefully behind the wheel. It sounds like possibly at Pomona for the Russo Fuel Funny Car. Good things, man. Good things.
Yep. Thanks for having me back on, guys. And you guys have a great show tonight.
All right. Thank you, man. Thank you for letting us see the light. And speaking of lights, let's take a look at, Holly.
Classic car owners, make your headlights over twice as bright with Holly Retro Bright LED headlights. A plug-in replacement for those dim halogen seal beams, Retro Bright maintains that classic look and lasts 6 times longer. Stay safe and click the link below to learn more.
All right, Sam, we do have Chad Head in the studio, so we got just a few more minutes until we do bring him on. But folks are chiming in the comment section. Ron Tobler is back. Yes, wow, Ron's back. We got Wine back at the track. Wine is back.
Wine is back. Wine is back at the track. That means that I'm going home early because I'm not indulging in any of that. Only on Sundays, though. That's
Destroyer 1320 says, how do I get to see Phoenix testing? Well, it will actually be streamed live right here on CompetitionPlus.tv or Competition Plus on YouTube. So you can catch the Phoenix test streamed live on Competition Plus. Just be looking out for that. Sam, by the way, premiering this week. I believe it's the 4th. Ed
Friday.
The Ace McCullough Legend Series. Bobby's got that coming out. Looking forward to that.
I'm gonna say this right now about the Legend Series. Like, if you have not done it already, you need to go and watch some of these things. Like, if you want to just how people are like, oh, you got to watch Yellowstone. I haven't watched it yet. I'm waiting for it to be like done, and then I want to binge watch it. That's how I do series. Like, if you're kind of right now in between something and you need to watch some good stuff that, may pull at the heartstrings a little bit, may give you that shocking moment like, wow, like what Bobby Bennett, the boss man, the owner, the founder of Competition Plus, the guy himself, what he's doing with this Legend Series is it's what the sport needs, right? I mean, we need to give thanks back to the sport and tell these stories of who our legends really are. And what he's doing is he's taking his time and he's sitting down and getting to the deep, deep parts of these stories and just letting you know. And that's what it's all about. So I'm letting you know right now, if you're stuck in the house because it's too cold, if you're in Florida and it's too cold for you, or you got a snowstorm coming, rainstorm, whatever it may be, or you just got a weekend to yourself and you're like, you know what, I'm going to be a couch potato and I'm going to do this. It's okay. We're giving you permission to gain about 5 pounds, order some food on Uber Eats, eat a lot of popcorn, get whatever your favorite adult beverage is. Hopefully it's Yingling beer for Lyle Barnett. But, you know, hey, that you need to watch them. So, yeah.
You do. You definitely do out there, ladies and gentlemen. We can only watch them on Competition Plus TV on YouTube. And look, it is like our football life. That's even what Bobby has said. He's watched football life. He's like, we need it for drag racing. And now he has been putting it out. It's great material.
It's like the 60 Minutes that ESPN does. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really know another way to like break it down, but that's just what it is. Like, I mean, it's great for the soul. It's what you need. You need a little.
It definitely is.
So, I was gonna say something else to you, Lee, because we got rambling on about this. Oh, can't forget, you and I, Thursday night, we're gonna be stars, man, stars.
I hope so. I haven't heard anything else. So
I know. I got a text from Wes. So, but yeah, the first. I really think it's really the first award show that NHRA, that drag racing is having across the board. Drag Illustrated is putting on a great thing, and they're gonna have an award show. And I think, like I said, I think this year with the buzz that's gone on in the off season, the short off silly season, that I don't know, it makes my head hurt thinking about it all. But there's been a lot of great things happening. And I mean, just rolling into great things happening tonight. The show continues, the stories continue, and man, we got some guests on here tonight that, I mean, need no introduction, but are doing great things for our sport, continuing to bring in new marketing partners like we talked about. Great looking cars, so I'm excited for it, Lee. I'm not jacked up on Monster. I'm jacked up on Snapple all natural tea, probably with a bunch of sugar in it, but I'm ready to go. I don't know about you. Strap me into the car and let me take a pass.
Look, let's get our first guest on. Chad Head of Coletta Motorsports. A lot of big things happening with Coletta Motorsports, and well, they're still kind of holding out on us too. Maybe we'll get a little bit more insight. You never know. Maybe we can pry it out of them. I don't know. After this break, Chad Head on. Chad, how's it going tonight?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Doing good, man. So,
go ahead,
Chad,
Lee.
look. Oh, Chad, let's get this out of the way. What is the official title at Coletta Motorsports? Now, I know it's going to be a lot of hats. I know that. But what is the official title and what are the job responsibilities?
I'd say that the number one title would be adult daycare supervisor. And I work with a bunch of great people. So, man, it's a great place to work. Connie has afforded us a great place to be and work with, like I say, a lot of cool guys that I've been around my whole life. It's neat to see kids come up through, the technical schools and kind of grow and become really, really good mechanics on our team. And I mean, we got a kid that, we hired at night. He was like 19 and a half years old a couple years ago, and he couldn't even drive the Toyota van, but we took a shot and he's become one of our best guys on the DHL funny car. So it's, we got a lot of good people here.
Good to hear, man.
Yeah.
No, and that just speaks highly of you guys and what you guys got going on, is taking shots at younger guys that are getting into the sport, that are willing to be, like I say, coachable, and you guys are willing to open the doors and say, hey, we'll bring you on and watch them grow, perform, and add more to the team.
Yeah, it was this kid was a good kid, man. His name's Tanner, and I think he was either going to a BMW dealership or he was coming drag racing, and thank God he chose Coletta Motorsports.
Yeah, I think I'd go drag racing too over BMW dealership. Which one? 300 mile per hour race car, or trying to sell with a fake accent or something. I don't know.
Yeah, right. No, 100%.
So Chad, look, test session or not, you all at Coletta Motorsports were able to get a crack with the new Supra body on a funny car. What during that time was tantalizing? What did y'all pick up on? Like, ooh, man, we already like the direction we're going, or did you find, we got some work to do?
So we got the body. Toyota Gazoo Racing, North America. They put a lot of work into it, a lot of money. Thank goodness we haven't. This is the first new body in 12 years, so we're obviously really excited to be a part of it. So yeah, we got to go to West Palm. Didn't get to make as many runs as we'd like to because we battled some rain. We were the only car down there, so that made it tough. We did have some sportsman guys partake in our test session, which was great. Got to meet a lot of cool people. Without the sportsman cars, the track doesn't come in. I don't think a lot of people understand that. It takes everybody to have a good racetrack, not just fuel cars, pro stock cars, pro cars. It takes super gas, super stock, it takes them all. So that was pretty cool to have those guys hanging out with us and helping with the racetrack. But yeah, we were able to make 8 runs. The goal was really A to B. That was the goal, was to get good data back to Toyota Gazoo and the whole DHL, Toyota Super Funny Car team. I mean, they did a great job. Todd and Jono and the whole group. We got a lot of new guys on the team, some new positions. So that was a big help, right? I think we've got 4 guys doing 4 different new positions, right? So that's a test in itself. So, but no, the test was, I think, very successful, and really looking forward to getting to Phoenix hopefully next week if we don't get snowed in this week. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can happen. But talking about the Toyota, partnership that you guys have got going and everything, what sets Toyota apart from working with anyone else?
I can't really speak because my whole, what short time I drove, which was very short, was all with Toyota. The time that I was with Alan Johnson Racing, when Alan had the 2-car team, that was with Toyota. So I've not been associated with anybody else, but I will tell you what probably makes them different than any other high-level partner is family. I mean, I guess that's the best way to explain it. They're good people. I mean, you can call any of them 24 hours, 7 days a week, and they'll listen. They'll help any way they can. And it's not all about, it's not about money. It's not, they're not writing checks to us. It's the support that they give us, and they're always there to help us.
What does look differently in the Toyota world, or what might look differently in the Toyota world with the partnership, or at least it seems like the growth of, how are you saying it? Gazoo Toyota?
Toyota Gazoo. Yeah. They've kind of rebranded their TRD model, and it's Toyota Gazoo Racing. There's an article on nhra.com, and I think even Comp Plus actually put it on as well. So yeah, that's their kind of their rebranding, the renaming of TRD.
So you mentioned going testing already. There's probably over 40 cars going down there if you guys don't get snowed in. And what are you looking forward to? You know, you guys have already done some testing, now going down to Phoenix, if you guys are able to make it, to do some testing there. What more advantages do you think you guys can find, you know, with this new body and with just going down there and taking hits after hits?
Yeah, well, we'll make it for sure. We've got chains ready and we're ready to roll. But no, you know, I think the biggest thing is the improvements. And again, I'm too fat to sit in the car, but listening to JR talk, man, the vision is unbelievable. We're going to be able to raise our roll cage, make the roll cage wider. You know, that's not going to happen right off the bat, but that's playing down the road. You know, we're looking for, you know, better downforce, which I think they've achieved. Better steering for JR, more responsive, right? Going to be more aerodynamic. Again, those are things that Todd and Jono are best at, and you know, our goal is to try to make 12 runs and get ready and go to Pomona and try to win the race.
With Pomona coming up and the track surface being reworked, what are some concerns from the tuners and the car chiefs of, hey, is our playbook going to even work well there from what it typically has been?
So not a crew chief, but it's only gonna help us as a team, as teams. You know, you got to understand that, and I'm sure you all do, but that track's only used twice a year, right? It's only raced on 8 times a year. And other than that, you might as well call it a parking lot, right? So Nhra really has their hands full, and they do a great job getting it ready each and every time we go there. But, you know, listening to Kurt talk, it sounds like in the pictures that I've seen, it looks like he's done a great job. And again, it's going to probably go from one of the bumpiest tracks on circuit to hopefully one of the smoothest on circuit. And again, so that should only help the tuners, help the crew chiefs, help the drivers. You know, that's a tough track to drive. I had a short time driving with my father, and I loved the place, but I hated it because it was really, really hard to drive. You know, I wasn't as good as guys like Robert Height, Del Worsham, JR, you know, all those guys, right? Caps. I you know, didn't have the experience, so I was pretty much hanging on for my life. So it's hard. It's a hard place to drive. So I think it's going to help across the board. I think it's going to help the drivers and crew chiefs. If the weather conditions are as such as we hope and they are, man, there should be some fast times. So definitely looking forward to it.
All right, Lee, it was mentioned, the word of crew chiefs, and that is the big question of tonight. Any news, any word? Is there any silly season news that we can find out here on the lovely night show of drag racing about what is the word?
Yeah, we've hired
the
some guys. Yeah, we've hired some new people to come on board this year, and I think Elon would be pissed off at me if I start talking about it. But again, I mean, we're getting ready to announce that I think this week. And again, it's all good stuff, all great people, and just trying to get back to doing what we do best at Coletta Motorsports, and that's obviously having the ability to try to win, and that's what we're looking forward to.
Well, you mentioned good people. You've definitely got a great lineup of drivers over there. Doug Coletta, he's done everything except get that championship. He definitely is that caliber of a driver. Sean Langdon, actually last year's driver with the lowest average reaction time in Top Fuel. And J.R. Todd, I mean, well, he knows how to stage the thing when the clutch isn't even working right. So you got a great lineup of drivers. And with all the tuner shuffling and looking forward to 2022, does the thought at Coletta Motorsport feel like this is another year to break out and show that Coletta Motorsport is a top tier professional NHRA team across the board.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, what you just said, the three guys you just named, Dougie, JR, and Sean. I mean, I don't know what else you can say. I mean, yeah, got a guy like JR Todd that the clutch pedal's stuck and he stages it with the gas pedal, right? Langdon blinks the tree like a stoplight, right? And still cuts 40s and 50s and 30s sometimes, And Dougie, what can you say about Dougie, man? No matter what, he's going to get it down. He's going to cut a great light, and probably one of the best drivers we've ever seen. But we just want to put ourselves in a position to try to win and do good for our partners. And it's a lot of work, and we're all definitely looking forward to it for sure.
And that's what it's all about. You guys have the new wrap, new scheme on the car. We talked about that here for a while here. We said there's a battle of Dallas roofing companies. So I think we're going to have both companies line up and put some shingles or something somewhere, battle it out. But it'll be fun to see clean cars as always. So what's that partnership like? I mean, as of right now, I think it's 6 races that they're going to be a part of you guys. So
yes. Yeah. So CMR Roofing, Steve and Chandra Soleil, great people. Got to get hooked up with those folks last year, and great company. In fact, they're replacing. They're doing a lot of work at Coletta Air, and they're going to be doing some work at Coletta Motorsports shop, replacing our roof. So great partnership, a great B2B play. They're going to be with us at 6 races, and then the other 16 races, it'll be the DHL scheme. So it'll either be the CMR DHL or DHL CMR scheme at all 22 events. And man, it's awesome. I mean, our group of folks back at the office, Scott Duncan, Bob Lawson, Luke, Elon, they do a great job, and they've been really hitting the pavement hard and finding new partners, because that's what it takes, and really using all of our partners to help each other. I think CMR looked at the Coletta Motorsports family and is like, man, look at all the people that they deal with, and all the people that they deal with, they need roofs. So how do we help them get connected? Well, we have B2B summits twice a year. We're always trying to connect our partners to do business with each other, and everybody wins in the end. So it's a pretty good deal.
Wow, if they're doing work over at Coletta Air, I imagine that's a lot of work to do with that massive of an operation. Have you been able to see like the Coletta Air operation yourself firsthand? What's it like?
Yes, sir. So Connie has an operation here in Ypsilanti, Michigan, and then he also has a maintenance facility up in Oscoda, Michigan, which is about 2.5 hours just north of here. And I've been up there 2 or 3 times, and it is an impressive facility. I think to date they've got 4 hangars that will completely pull in a 747. 1,500 people that work up there, I think. So it's kind of mind blowing, that's for sure. Yeah, it's so again, Coletta Air doesn't just let any contractor do work for them. So obviously we vetted CMR just like we do any other partner, and we're happy to have them, and they're going to do great work for us. And yeah, it's a pretty neat deal.
Yeah, that really is. You look at sponsors, and I don't know, as a fan, when I was a kid, and a lot of fans, you talk to them, we always wonder, do they use the products? Like, did Kenny Bernstein actually have Prolong in the Top Fuel Dragster? But it's interesting that CMR Roofing is actually doing work with Coletta Air and Motorsports. That is a cool deal to hear about, and that marketing partnership goes that far to nails and hammers and tar and all of that being put down and put to good use.
Yeah, I mean, any partner that you see with us, we use, right? Mobil One. I mean, they make some of the best oil I've ever seen in my entire life. It's unbelievable. Obviously the Mac tools that we use, right? I mean, it's all of our partners. If they're on the car, we're utilizing their product in some certain way.
Which, by the way, the Mobile One dragster, oh, that is a good-looking livery on a top fuel dragster. And then I think y'all had the best-looking top fuel dragster all year last year with the Bounty Hunter, Connie Coletta, lookalike Sean Langdon at the U.S. Nationals. That was legit.
Yeah, that was fun. Pretty cool to do that for Connie, right? I think he got a pretty good kick out of it. But yeah, we're fortunate enough to be able to do that Mobile One car again this year. I think they're going to change up the scheme a little bit, and you're right. It was definitely a good looking car. It was done at Houston last year. We had some weather issues, so hopefully we can. We're going to do it again there, and hopefully we can have some better weather and some better success. We got to the finals last year, and hopefully this year we can win it. So,
man, I think I can speak on behalf of just about everybody in the drag racing world, at least 99.9%. We're pulling for Doug. We want to see Doug do it completely. And I've told people this way. I don't want Doug to be the Mark Martin of NHRA drag racing. He deserves that championship. We need to get it. And I hope this is a year. I hope it is.
Well, hey, listen, I mean, we've got a lot of tough competitors, man. I mean, the Torrance group, they've set the bar. I mean, we've got to swing hard at them. They've done an awesome job the last 4 years, and you got Prock coming back with Tobler and Joey, and can't forget about Grubnick, and it just goes on and on and on and on. I mean, there's just Top Fuel is going to be, man, it's going to be special this year. There's no question about it. So we just want to put ourselves in a position to win, do the best we can, and we'll see what happens comes the end of the year.
Yeah, and I mean, you just talked about it right there. It's looking forward to this season. I think right now, as we are, rapidly approaching the season, the start of it, the kickoff. Right now, like, what is the biggest thing that you are looking forward to in 2022? Like I said, I know there's been a lot of excitement with the silly season, still announcements, and everything still going. But right, if you had to pick something today, I think what would you say is your I guess your top three of what you're excited about for this upcoming season?
Right now, I'm thinking about getting out of this cold weather. That's all I care about. But again, we've got a lot of change at our shop, and I think it's just a matter of following through with that change. And that change isn't instant success. That's nothing is guaranteed. So I think, we've got a great direction. So, what am I looking forward to? I'm looking forward to the first test run at Phoenix. That's what we're all focusing on. And then after that, I think it's just trying to be consistent. And then your next site is obviously Indy, right? You got to get to Indy. Where are you going to finish in the points? Where are you going to be in the countdown, right? That's the next. Where are you going to start out? And then obviously it's 6 races, I think, in the countdown. And what do you got there, right? So it starts at testing. You go from testing to Indy to Pomona, right? And the goal is to win. And that's what we're going to try to do.
And with you talked about it here, the end of the year, the countdown. I want to ask this question. Lee and I talked about it at the end of last season with the way Funny Car was played out, with everything, the double points. What's your stand on that?
My stand is, listen, if I'm the guy like Torrance's that actually kick our butts every year, and then the points get reset, yeah, it definitely sucks. So I'm torn. I'm a hardcore competition guy. Like, let's race, and it falls where it falls. On the other hand, it's what do the fans want, right? What do they want to see? Do we want to try to make this thing interesting? I think we got to be careful not putting too much WWF into it. I think there's a balance. Do I think the system can be tweaked? Yeah, I do. But it is what it is. We do the best we can. The double points, again, it definitely makes it interesting. Could the system be looked at and tweaked to where, you don't have a guy clinching the championship by Reading, but you also don't have the double points in getting down to the last run at Pomona, even though that's what the fans want. That's what these people are paying to see. It sucks for the competitors, right? It sucks for the folks that kick everybody's butt all year long, and then it's like, man, they can lose it. So yeah, I don't know. I'm torn. There's no question about it.
Man, no
I guess
WWF.
if that makes sense. Yeah.
Oh, it does. It
What's
does.
that?
I just, man, I was hoping we might see crew chiefs, doing flying elbows on each other or something. That'd be kind of interesting and, entertaining. I
don't know. You better. That would be pretty exciting. So
yes, it would be. It would be. Well, depending on what pit crew you interact with, you already have that in our day and time.
yeah.
So Chad, look, man, it has been great to have.
Wait.
What you got, Sam?
You're missing a very important question here. Jeff mentioned and spoke about the part shortage. Are you guys seeing any of this part shortage? Is this affecting you guys or has affected you guys yet?
So, I mean, again, the part shortage, did Jeff mention what parts are being shorted?
He did mention pistons. I've got two if you need them.
Yeah, right. So no question about it. You definitely, in this day and age, you definitely have to forecast, right? That doesn't mean that you have to spend the money right now. It means you've got to you've got to definitely give it a longer lead time. And so what we used to get away with, whether it was 4 to 6 weeks for pistons, now could be 12 weeks, right? And it could be 12 weeks from longer to get material, longer to get coated, longer to get them manufactured. This night shift goes down with COVID, right? There's just so many variables. So I think, I don't know if shortage is the right word. I think it's you've got to get prepared in a different way. You've got to think longer down the road. And that's tough, right? I mean, whether you have a substantial budget or whether you have no budget at all, you've just got to get with those vendors and give them a better lead time on what you think you're going to use for the year. And the more you can give these vendors, how many pistons, how many rods, how many, rings, bearings. Hey guys, here's what we think we're going to need. And here's when we'd like to try to get them. And I think the more information, the better right now for this crazy world that we're living in, for sure.
Well, Chad, look, I know, or at least I believe, that there will be no shortage of round wins and national event wins for Coletta Motorsports this year. Thank you for your time, and look forward to seeing you testing, man.
Yeah, thank you. We're definitely going to try, and we're really looking forward to it. And I got a question for you.
What's that?
Where'd you get them glasses?
Where did I get the shades? Yes, where did I get the shades? Well, they are Oakley's. As many people like to think they're Pit Vipers, but I get them from Oakley. And if it wasn't for Scotty Cannon, I'm a Scotty Cannon fan, and I was thinking to myself, I need some shades, and I went Oakley's, as big and bad as I can go for.
I was wondering if you borrowed them from Casey Spurlock or not. Those are some badass shades. I will tell you that, dude.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, they are Oakley Sutros. They're actually the cheapest Oakleys you can get. They are, yes.
Okay. Well, maybe we can get you some. Maybe we can get you some Fatheads glasses. No disrespect to Oakley, but Fatheads is one of our partners, and they make awesome glasses. So,
hey, if Fatheads wants to work out a deal and be able to fit some for this actual fat head, we can work it out.
Well, I don't know if you've ever met Rico, but he's got a pretty big head, and I think that's probably how he come up with Fatheads glasses. So, we'll get you over to the trailer. We'll get you set up. How's that?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, man. Looking forward to meeting. Are you both coming to test them?
It's kind of up in the air for me right now. I think Lee's going. It's silly season, Lee. It's silly season.
Silly season, right? Yeah, silly season goes into even the media. So.
Yeah. So
well, hey, listen.
There's talk of it.
I look forward to meeting both of you, and if we can ever do anything for you, let us know, and y'all have a good night.
Thank you, Chad.
Yeah, you're gonna see JR before I do, so tell him his look-alike twin at the track says hello.
Okay,
he'll know.
Okay, man, we'll do it, buddy.
Thank you, Chad.
All right.
Well, great inside glimpse of the business and world of drag racing, in particular there with Coletta Motorsport. I agree with Chad, man. This year it is stacked in Top Fuel. Top Fuel, I think, is going to look very similar to what Funny Car was in 2021. And our next guest, I think, is going to be a major player in Top Fuel, being, I think, one of the best years ever coming in 2022. Who is that next guest, Sam?
Some young Prock kid or something like that. I think his first name's Austin. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think he's done the double duty, kind of stepped in for a couple people, just some young kid, nothing to worry about, nothing to, call home to mom and mom, there's this new young hot guy that's driving a race car and I really want to go and see him when he comes to town. But Lee, what you just said there, you said we are going to see this year in Top Fuel what we saw last year in Funny Car. I agree with you. And I'm making a bold prediction right now. We're going to see that same transition next year. Oh, it's because I'm not picking. But I'm saying right now, we're going to see this domino effect in Pro Stock the following year. I think each category is going to step up every year. So last year we had this ridiculous roller coaster in Funny Car. No one knew who was going to win. No one knew what was going to happen, who was going to be the next up and coming star, right? Now, this year, we are doing that in Top Fuel. I mean, you're having a guy like Alex come back, for his second season. You're having new teams, new alliances, AB and Justin Ashley, so you never know what's going to happen there. You never know what's going to happen with those Capco boys. Coletta's changing things and doing different shakeups. And then all of a sudden, JFR says, wait a minute. Since everybody else wants to play and break up, how about we just, that new bass guitar guy that we got back there? Yeah, he's going to get a shot on the main stage. So everybody just watch out. So I'm just saying, last year, Funny Car, this year, Top Fuel, next year, Pro Stock. And then after that, it's going to be professional modified, and we're going to add them to the pro categories, and they're going to be on stages on Sunday. And I'm not giving up until Alan and Joe are talking to Pro Mod on Sundays on the stage. I'm looking at you. Yeah.
Well, I know where you're looking, but right now on stage, right after this break, we've got Austin Prock.
In the race for quality, there is no finish line. Jerry Bickle Race Cars is a one-stop chassis shop for drag racing performance parts and race components. For over 50 years, Jerry Bickle Race Cars has been an essential part of racers' plans for building world champion race cars. Our parts department is stocked with every part a racer might need. Log on to jerrybickle.com for more information. We build anything with doors. jerrybickle.com.
All right. Hey, Sam, I've got to put it this way to Austin first. What's cooking, man?
Nothing tonight. Been working late at the shop. We got a lot going on right now. Got a little bit of a late start, but what's cooking is hopefully some win lights here shortly. We've been busting our tails in the shop. We've got a good crew put together and great crew chief lineup, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely you guys do. But first, we got to admire the background. You've got the practice tree back there with the dragster, and you've got the race sim. So which one have you been using more lately to, just relieve all this announcement news that's been going on?
To be honest, I haven't used either of them. I get home about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night and go straight to bed because we've been plugging in all those hours at the shop. So just trying to make, I got taught at a young age, circle track racing by Bob East. Races are won in the shop, and that's where I'm putting all my time right now. We're making sure these cars are put together properly. Everything's up to the highest level it can possibly be. And I think it's going to show here in testing here in a week.
You mentioned the parts and the pieces, getting everything together, Austin. Is this a car or your car that was like mothballed being brought back out? Is this a brand new chassis? What are we looking at with the team this year on your side of the JFR fence?
So it's both cars that we raced in 19 and 20. We put the new roll cage on them, like Brittany ran last year. It's a wider roll cage. We can fit more head padding in there, and a brand new canopy. I've been mounting canopies for each car for the last 2 weeks. They come about an eighth of the way finished. So been plugging a lot of hours in on that, cutting a lot of carbon fiber. My skin's still itching, but they're coming out really nice. We got a couple great pieces ready for 2022 showing.
Yeah, and I mean, in your announcement videos, you did see clips of you doing, I would say the hard work, grinding the fiberglass and doing things like that. But I mean, you had that double duty last year too. I mean, down at the Stampede of Speed, people saw you testing the car and then running back and doing technically your job. And you've done that multiple times. So playing this double duty role, what was that like for you?
Oh, it was awesome. Even in 19 when I was racing, I still played that double duty role. It just didn't get caught on film or publicized as much as it is lately. But it was awesome. Force came up to me that morning in Dallas, and I had no idea I was going to drive his funny car that day. And he's like, "Hey kid, I'm putting you in." And I'm like, "All right, you don't have to tell me twice." And I talked to the guys. I said, "Hey, I'm going to go over here, because I'm working on my dad's car, Robert Height. My dad's Jim Prock, obviously, but working on Robert Height's car." And I asked the guys, I said, "Hey, Force wants me to go over here and drive this thing today." I said, "Don't let me get away with any slack." I said, "I still want to pull my weight. I still want to do my job. I don't want anyone to have to fill in for me. I can do both." And that's what we did, and it made for some cool photos. They got to see me back in the funny car up in my fire suit. And I wish someone would have got a picture of me servicing the supercharger in between test runs, fully dressed in all my Nitro gear.
That would have been a good picture. It would have been a good picture. I thought it was a strange image when I was filming. I was at the wall filming, and I'm like, "Hey, John's on his scooter, and there's his car." So it's like, it's got to be Prock. So got the time in. And, it was interesting last year. And I know you wanted to be driving, but with what you were doing last year, it brought, I think, an interesting spotlight onto crew members and onto even like the journey and the path to driving these cars, because a lot of folks would be like, "Where's Prock? Where's Prock?" Like, you not being in a seat was like you're completely off the roster. And it's like, no, he's very much a part of the team. He's there each and every weekend. And that's, even how you were available at Norwalk. So in a weird way, I know you wanted to be driving, but for everybody else out there that makes the gears turn, I'm kind of glad the spotlight got where it was. Do you feel that it helped open up, the crew member's story, if you will?
Yeah, absolutely. It was kind of a blessing in disguise. The fact that I even got to be out there. I could have not got the opportunity to go work on a car. So, I feel like if you work on these cars and you know how they go together and you know how they function, you become a better race car driver. So, I feel like that does open doors for crew members that have, the knack for driving or the talent for driving. So, it was really cool. I learned so much this year. Obviously, in 21, it wasn't what I wanted to be doing, but it was one of the best years of my life. I got to work with my old man, and that was great. We were probably both, me especially, I was a little nervous going into it, because working with family and blood, that can be tough. And we didn't argue once. We actually probably learned more about the superchargers than either of us ever have. So we improved that program a lot, and I made all those improvements to my superchargers the last couple weeks, and we got them on the dyno early last week, and it all showed showed potential. So I'm looking forward to standing on the gas. More boost, more better.
Yes.
More boost, more better. So how does it feel? Like everyone last year was like, where are you? What's going on? Like Lee was mentioning. But how did it feel where there was no negative like storyline of, oh, well, who cares if he comes back, or, he'll get his turn whenever. Everyone wanted Austin to be back in a car. Everyone was like, when is he going to get his chance? How does that feel to know that in reality, I mean, you were the fan favorite. Everyone was like, okay, JFR's back, but where's Austin? Like, we get it. Yeah. John, you're back. Robert, you're back. Brittany, you're back. Hey, where's Austin?
Yeah, no, it was cool. It definitely helped keep my head above water, because it hurt when you lose. When I lost my ride, it was one of the toughest things I've ever gone through in my life. I worked from pretty much since I could think. All I wanted to do was drive a race car, and worked my whole entire life to get to that point. And after 1 year essentially, and then it gets pulled under from your feet, and it was tough, but the fans were great. Like you said, they were asking where I was at. They were supporting me, and they were coming up to the ropes even when I was servicing the superchargers and watching me work. And when they saw I had a split second, they'd holler my name. I'd go out there and sign their stuff, sign their die-cast shirts, whatever they wanted. So it was definitely very cool. And now I got some big shoes to fill. I'm back on the circuit, and hopefully I can make them proud.
So, Austin, diving into the nitty-gritty, you've got very similar, same even, marketing partners on your Top Fuel ride here for 2022, Montana Brands Tools and Rocky Mountain Twist. Dive in, first of all, with Montana Brands. Yes, I'm familiar with Snap-on, Mac Tools, Husky. I mean, going down the line, Powerbilt. What about Montana? What sets them apart? What is their specialty in the tool world?
Yeah, so Montana brand, it's more of a woodworking industry. It's a lot of quick disconnect bits, on like a quarter drive gun, countersinks, drill bits, things like that, counter bores. And then Rocky Mountain Twist on the other side is like your high-end drill bit. They actually supply Boeing airliners for building the airplane. So every hole that's drilled in a Boeing airplane is from Rocky Mountain Twist. And I use them all the time in the shop. Even when we had our split apart and I had to go out and find other work during COVID, I worked for a construction company. I made them go out and buy Rocky Mountain Twist drill bits because I told them I wasn't going to drill a hole on the job site without them.
I like that, Sam. He's sticking with his brand no matter where he goes. I like that.
Yeah,
kind of like you and your glasses, Lee.
Yeah,
yeah.
I wouldn't just say that if they weren't good. They're honestly, like I'm in the fab shop, I'm in the machine shop all the time during the week, building stuff for the race cars, and there's honestly no better fit than that.
Yeah, and like you said, supporting your marketing partners, being there for them, the return on investment, right? Obviously, there's a reason why you like what they have and they like what you're doing, and it's a good fit. But I had this here, younger drivers in the sport, and this being brought up by Drag Racing Central. He says, Prock, Josh Hart, Justin Ashing, Krista Baldwin is the future stars of Top Fuel. How do you feel about this younger generation? We've talked about it, but this younger generation stepping up and saying, hey, you know what? It's our time to shine, and especially in Top Fuel. I mean, I can't imagine being in your shoes right now. But, stepping up and saying, you know what? Hey, I'm here to play, and I understand you guys have been here for years. You've been doing it on your own, but it's my time to shine. So speak about, I guess, the younger generation in our sport.
Yeah, absolutely. There's every name you just named off. They're doing a great job. I mean, Josh Hart, he's a one-man band out here. He's he's finding the sponsorship. He's putting the teams together. He's funding it, and he's driving it. Like, I got a lot of respect for that guy. And Krista Baldwin, she's got it in her blood. She's hungry for it. And, she's doing a great job as well. So, I'm just lucky to be in this position right now. And when we go up against those vets that we've watched our entire career, you're hungry to beat them, and the way I look at it is you go up there, and I looked up to these people, Doug Coletta, Antron Brown, Steve Torrance, all these people all my life, and when I go up there, I feel like the underdog still. So I got a point to prove. And you go up there and you try and pop them off on the starting line and see where your cards fall. And I'm looking forward to this season. I think, we've built a great team and got great crew chiefs. And if I do my job, I think we're going to be right there with them.
So in the Nitro ranks, in particular Top Fuel, the game on the line has definitely become more important than it ever was or have seemed to be in drag racing history. Last year, Sean Langdon was technically the man with the lowest average on the tree. Justin Ashley, definitely known for his prowess of cutting the tree down. Steve Torrance has shown often that if he needs to cut a light, he can cut a light. Is there a sense of accomplishment and pride for yourself as a driver at the end of the year to say, I have the lowest average? And is that something you are even aiming for along with Wally's in a championship?
Yeah, absolutely. The reaction time is underrated, in my opinion. I feel like I kind of stepped the game up a little bit in 2019. I went in there and, even Antron and Steve both told me, they said, when you came out, we had to step our game up. They weren't used to, an average 50 light. I ended my rookie season with, I think, with a 51 average or 52 average. So, my dad preached that to me my whole entire life. He tells me how much it means because, 160 feet is a few feet at the finish line. So in my opinion, the quicker you're off the starting line, the bigger gap you're going to have at the end. And, I live and breathe by that. So I plan on going out there and being number one in the class. I don't want to get left on ever. So, they absolutely did step it up last year. Sean Langdon's average was, I think, like 48 or 49 or something crazy like that. And, I plan on being right there with him. I'm looking forward to racing him. I've always appreciated his style of driving and how quick he is on the starting line. So it's going to be a all-out dogfight in the Top Fuel category this year. There's a bunch of great racers, and there's a huge lineup of great crew chiefs all teamed up with them.
Yes, I don't know how someone hasn't picked up like Tums or Alka-Seltzer or somebody as a sponsor, because y'all going to have some heartburn. It's going to be crazy out there this year. I'm looking forward to it as a fan, but you all as competitors, I mean, oh, wow.
Yeah, no, I know. That's actually a good point, because every Sunday morning I want to puke rolling up to the staging beam. So that would be a great fit.
There you go. I mean, that's easy. That's a very easy marketing sponsorship. Like, hey, look, this is real life. I'm about to yak. I need something. Help a brother out. Like, help me out. But no, I mean, you talked about crew chief. So, I mean, dive into that. What is that going to be like for you? The relationship there. So just go ahead and dive into that for us.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I still can't believe that, we got Ron Tobler out of retirement. That's I've always had a lot of respect for Ron, and we've been close family friends as well. So to get him out of retirement and then stack Joe Barlam on top of him, Joe B, he's finally getting his shot as a elite crew chief, and he deserves it. He's put in his work, he's put in his hours, and he's very intelligent, and he brings great energy to the team too. Everybody gets along with Joe B. Everyone likes hanging out with him, and it's going to be a fun year. I think those two are going to be a good yin and yang together. Barlam's very aggressive. Tobler likes to, make sure it goes down the track on Sunday and let the driver kind of play his role in the tune-up. So I think they're going to be a great combo, and I can't wait to see what comes out of it.
how much wine on the weekends now?
Well, like I said, we're good family friends with Tobler, so we do plenty of wine drinking when we're together. I got a wine fridge in my lounge, so we'll be all stocked up. I think that was one of the selling points for him to come back. I was like, Tobes, I said, we got 2 lounges this time. We got wine fridges in them. We got the speakers, we got the stereo. It's going to be bumping. We'll get the West Coast hip hop going and drink some cabs.
That's what I was going to say. You're for sure going to be listening to some Nhra, some Snoop.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, when I was about 16, Tobes introduced me to that music, and I've loved it since. So when we get together, we're always playing it, and we're trying to rap along with it as well.
All right, so I got to ask this question then, since we're talking West Coast rap. If you could listen to Warren G Regulators, or you could have Ice Cube, Today Was a Good Day, which song would you pick to roll up? Like, if this was your at-bat song, and you were rolling up, and they were like, and now rolling into the beams.
I'd have to go with Regulators.
My man.
To go with that, when they had the Friday Night Music in 19, I had some Nate Dogg playing.
There you go.
By the way, the Friday Night Music does need to come back soon. They need to bring that back.
I absolutely agree. It does. I think that put on a good show for everyone. And you kind of got to see a little bit of the driver's background, to feel a little bit of their vibe, and I think the fans appreciate that.
Yeah, we haven't had you on since Stampede of Speed. So talking about Friday night, what did you think about Stampede of Speed? The pyro, the lights, all that. What'd you think?
I thought they did an excellent job, especially for the first time going at bat with it. I thought they put on a great show. Obviously, anytime you start something new like that, there's some bugs you need to work out. But I think the way they were heading and the show that they put on was off the charts. I think every national event needs to be like that.
I agree with Austin Prock. If Austin Prock says it needs to happen.
So you're saying bring back Jason Logan and let's have fun again.
Yeah,
I agree.
Jason Logan was cool, but it's like my bar setter is like when you go to a Supercross event indoors. You go into the arena, they got the flamethrowers, they got the monster chicks out there blowing the flames up on the mountain or on the jumps, and they got the riders coming out for their intros on their bikes, and they're revving it up and doing wheelies and stuff like that, and they make it a show, they make it an entertainment. And I think that's what motorsports needs. They love seeing the race cars. They love how cool and fast they go, but they want a little bit more flair to go with it.
Definitely. Well, man, I hope you have a great year this year. It's going to be a crazy year in Top Fuel, but I know that you have interest even beyond drag racing, and you've raced elsewhere. I'm a fan of motorsports in general. I got to ask, what did you think of the Chili Bowl this year?
I thought it was awesome. What was it, Monday night when they had the Race of Champions? I saw Thorson going around there, and he was my pick for the rest of the weekend. His stuff was operating, and the Chili Bowl, that's probably my favorite event of the year. I love going in there. I love racing a midget in there. It's my favorite track, and I just love everything about it. So definitely bummed out I wasn't there this year. The previous year I got to go in there and have some fun, but I was kind of on the fence. I knew we were getting close on landing my sponsorship deal, and I didn't want to go in there and then get a call and say, hey, you're going racing, and I would need to be in the shop, So I stayed in there, kept my head down, and just kept working on getting things closer and closer just in case it happened. So maybe next year, if things go a little smoother, I'll be able to sneak back over there. But my priorities are set on this drag racing deal right now.
I mean, that's extreme focus, right? I mean, most people would, try and take any opportunity they could to get behind the wheel, and you knew you had things in the pipeline. So you obviously, stuck true to that. And I think that goes hand in hand with this next question I had for you, is your passion and your drive for it. I mean, you just talked about that, not giving up on an opportunity for another one. So what is it that really just gives you this drive and this energy to continue to go, even through losing your ride, through the COVID year, going out and getting another job and coming back, and everything that plays to what makes your story even better.
Well, like I told you earlier, it was a blessing in disguise. It made me more hungry. It made me appreciate it more, even though I didn't even know I could appreciate it more or love it more. It added all those things to it. And I think I'm going to come back this year stronger than I ever have. I want it more than I ever have. And I have a point to prove. I want to go out here and win the championship. So it helps solidify me racing the next year and the next year and the next year. So I'm going out here like it's my last year ever racing, and I'm going to make the best of it, and we'll see how the cards fall. I'm just so excited to be back. Like, I still can't even believe it. We've been busting our ass the last few weeks, and it still doesn't seem real, but it's going to be real when we pull the wires here in about 8 days.
Well, Austin, he's being all serious, but look, I got to ask, I'm on keto. Any good keto recipes? Like, tell me, man, lay it down on me. You got any good ones?
I was getting to the food,
honest,
Lee. I'm hungry myself.
To be honest, I don't have any keto recipes. I just stress out enough to where I don't eat. So that's my dieting program.
Well, look, I know on keto I can have definitely a good steak. So talk to us. How do you like to prepare your steak? From what are you cooking it in, and what type of cut? What are you seasoning with?
I'm going to tell you the best steak I've ever made is I came up with this coffee rub in college. I went to culinary school. I came home one evening and just started throwing everything I had in the covers in this rub I was making. It was coffee and espresso base, had brown sugar, a little cayenne pepper, garlic powder, things like that. And you lather that up on a ribeye and give it a good char on the grill. Hands down, the best steak. Never had anyone turn their nose to it. Sounds a little weird, but everything blended together. It's off the charts. And I have a small little baggie of that. That was 7 years ago, or I don't even know when I graduated college, to be honest. A long time ago, probably 7 years ago. And I have a little baggie of it. My plan is to send it off to a lab and have it tested to see exactly what I put in it. And that's going to be my retirement fund right there.
It's like, I don't remember. What was it?
Yeah. No, I'm not kidding you. Like, I pulled everything out in the cabinet and just started a little bit of this, tasted a little bit of that, and it ended up being off the charts. I made a jar about like this, and it lasted me up until about, I think, a year and a half ago. So I saved a little corner of it, and that sucker's going out to the lab when I need to retire.
Yes, I love it. I want a steak, by the way. Let's get more of that. Let's do it.
When you come to Indy, get a hold of me. I'm always having people over to my house. I love to entertain, so I'd love to have you guys over.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
You can't go to the pits, Lee, because it's going to be, hey, look, we got food, but a whole lot of wine. So stay, have fun. No, it's bad. We've all seen what happens when Lee goes out for a night. And
we know that. But I mean, I got video proof of what happens for Sam, like right here.
Yeah. Well, my house. So pick your poison.
Oh man.
Yeah. Were you at the DI party? I didn't see you. Were you there, Club Envy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in there.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe we shouldn't say no more.
Yeah, Lee, be quiet. Everyone doesn't need to know what everyone does at the DI party.
Okay, I'll be quiet. Back to drag racing. So, on the marketing side of things, with your partners.
Whoa. Lee.
What?
Stop.
What?
You can't just ask a question about food and ask about your diet. Like, what about everybody else?
Well, go ahead, Sam. You don't even like me. You can't handle Fugo de Chow. I mean, or whatever it is.
Oh, no. Austin, so get this. We go there, right? Some of my friends that used to live in Vegas, they're like, oh, let's go out to eat. So Lee and I always hang out. So I'm call Lee, hey, we're going to go out to eat. So they're like, we're going to this Fogo de Chow. And I'm like, dude, this sounds like that. Like, I'm a steak guy. I'm a, very like particular. Like, this don't sound good. Well, then they explain to me what it is. So we sit down and eat. First of all, the bottom bacon, they put like, I think it was brown sugar and it caramelized onto the bacon. Oh, I could eat a salad just for bacon all day.
Yeah.
But then after this, I didn't understand that like they just continue to bring meat to you all night.
It's like a free for all.
Dude, yeah. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah, sure. Eventually, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna have the meat sweats tomorrow. And then they're like bringing more. They're like, oh, you haven't had this. We just cooked it. And I'm like, okay, must try almost everything. Well, the next day, Lee gets mad at me because I have the meat sweat. I ate too much. Like, see, had me at bacon. See, right there. But like, I ate too much. And then we were in Vegas the next day. It's hot. And I'm just like, I ate too much at Fogo de Chao, but I will be back. Like,
no, that place is good, but I can see how you can get carried away in there.
See, so, all right. So, a guy like yourself, fit, in shape, you say you don't eat, but usually, you know, going through a regular week, what is it like, especially for you knowing how to cook, what to cook for your body? What are you eating to give yourself that energy and to make sure that, you know, you have the right proteins and carbs and whatever else you need?
I pretty much, like, every time I cook at home, when I come home for lunch or dinner, I try and eat a smaller portion, whether it's a salad or a piece of meat. Like I always try and go protein and vegetable, like during lunch. And then during dinner, I give myself a protein, a starch, and a vegetable, all in small portions. And that kind of keeps me held over. I don't have time to go to the gym, you know, so I don't work out. I'm in the shop pretty much all day long. And when I come home, I'm, you know, prepping meals. So don't have time to go to the gym, but working on these race cars, you know, it's a good workout, keeps me in shape. And, you know, I try and hustle all day. Like when I'm in the shop, I don't walk to the other side of the shop. I run to the other side of the shop or ride my skateboard. So it's, you know, I don't really have a set in stone, like, repetition of dieting. I just try and pay attention to what I'm eating. It's like if I ate, you know, a piece of pizza yesterday, I try not to eat carbs the next day, you know, just try and balance it out, and seems to work for me.
Sam, he pumps in the gym of Nitro. Yeah.
See, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get my Hagen on right now. You know, I've been at the gym. I'm trying to, you know, have all the proteins, do my meals out and everything else. I mean,
yeah,
you know, I'm proud of myself. So, you know, you got to ask the right people, Lee, and this may be an opportunity for me to, you know, get some meal prep while I'm on the road here. You see, you know?
Yeah. The whole the Hagen physique, that works good in a funny car. You need that rear percentage, but in the dragster, you gotta lift the center of the car up pretty quick. So being a little jockey, it helps the crew chiefs out.
Definitely. All right, Austin, look, my last question for you tonight. We are coming into a day and time in motorsports marketing where it's no longer a name just on the side of the car. Everybody is attempting to come up with unique marketing platforms for the brands associated with them. Josh Hart, R&L Carriers, they're using it as a morale booster and a hiring tool. You've got Phillips Connect, you know, announced this year with Justin Ashley, and they're going to have a smart trailer to show off amongst the big rigs of the NHRA drag racing world. So with Montana Brands, what are some unique things maybe you all are talking about? Like, can we start drilling things at the track eventually? Or, I mean, you know, that might be a little dangerous, drill bits in the public. Yeah. I don't know. But I mean, what's the talk like?
Yeah, I'd like to see, you know, getting some of the Montana brand tools and Rocky Mountain Twist drill bits out to the track and you know, have them in the Nitro Mall and things like that, you know, interaction with the fans. Like I thought about even building like a showcase at the front of my pit, you know, just so that people can, you know, come up there and put them in their hands. And like, you know, when you feel a good part in your hand, you know, or feel a good tool. So, you know, things like that. And then we're trying to work B2B with some of our existing sponsors as well. And then we also hired a commercial team at Downforce Racing and we're trying to pull other brands in that can help out Frank Teagues. Frank Teagues, he's the owner of Montana Brand, Rocky Mountain Twist, Flavor Pack, and he owns several other companies. So really anymore, it's just B2B. You know, what I'll help you if you help me. So that's kind of the avenue we're going down. And I think we're in good shape. I think, you know, things will start, you know, things are already looking more promising, but hopefully we can, you know, make everyone's brand grow bigger. And that's what's going to keep us in business.
No, and that's awesome. You know, like you said, trying to reach and adapt to what's going on. And that's true. If you put something in your hand, you can feel it, you can touch it, you can see it, and that should sell itself. So we're excited. We're excited to see what's going to happen. Like I said, we're tiptoeing at the door. You know, we're trying to be quiet and listen to this conversation of what 2022 race season is going to look like, and it's rapidly approaching us. So right now, I mean, we're going to give you the floor to, you know, just say thank you to anyone else that you want to say thank you to, and, you know, just tell everybody what they should expect in the 2022 season from Austin.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. You know, first and foremost, I'm looking forward to getting back to the fans. You know, I've been, you know, I haven't been on the racetrack in 2 years, and they've been wondering where I'm at, and I'll finally be back for them. So I hope we can, you know, bring more people out to the racetrack, and the ones that are still coming, I hope they come up and see me. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to, you know, seeing each and every one of them. And I got to thank John Force, Frank Teagues, Robert Height for, you know, making this deal possible. If it weren't for them, you know, it wouldn't have come to fruition. And I'm looking forward to racing with my family again. You know, I got my brother Thomas. He just left Stewart Haas Racing in Charlotte to come back to John Force Racing. He's going to be working on my race car and doing some engineering work in the shop. My brother Sam, he's going to be working on the car this year for the first few races until we can find our final employee. And, you know, my mom and dad are going to be right there by my side. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a great year. It was definitely worth the wait. You know, if they would have said, you know, you're going to sit out 2 years and then you're going to come back, you're going to have an all-star crew chief lineup, you're going to get to race with your family and a bunch of your good friends on your team as well. You know, I would have been like, no way, that's never going to happen. And it's all coming real. So can't wait for next week. Go out to Phoenix, stand on the gas. We're going to be, you know, thrashing on this thing, ripping it up and down the track for 3 days straight. And hopefully we can get all our ducks in a row and make it to that final round in Pomona like last time I was there, but just come out with the Wally on the other hand.
Austin, man, thank you for the time. We look forward to seeing you at Phoenix, and we look forward to you having a stellar 2022 NHRA Camping World Top Fuel campaign. Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I'll see you soon.
Definitely.
Sam, Top Fuel
Lee
is going to be lit.
Like a Christmas tree.
Right.
No, you said lit like the bulbs, and I said like a Christmas tree because of the tree.
Right, because of the tree.
Hey, gosh, Lee, jeez, come on, dad jokes, man, dad jokes. Come on, you gotta you're supposed to just laugh.
Okay, so in breaking news here, I peruse social media occasionally looking for tidbits while the show is going on. Sam,
you can multitask, Lee?
Yes, I can.
Man.
I can.
It'll be lit, but Mike Mike hit the nail right there.
Yeah,
but not like the 4th of July.
Yes, like the 4th of July. I like that. The livery game, the paint scheme game, the wrap game, we're starting to see it happen in Pro Stock. Dallas Glenn.
The wrap game?
Look at
that's rad. Lee,
I like it.
Lee, show my face.
All right. Hang on. Bloop.
That's rad.
I like that.
It's rad.
Ladies and gentlemen, that looks good. I like where we're going.
It looks fast. Like
it looks,
you know
really
what I mean?
Fast.
It looks fast while it's sitting still.
Right.
And they always tell you if a car looks fast while it's sitting still, it's got to be fast.
That's right. That's right. Oh, and ladies and gentlemen, we're not done. An announcement made today on Funny Car Chaos. I think this is one of the coolest things I've seen in a while. So if you're out there, put in the chat, Al Hoffman, if you remember who Al Hoffman was. Well, his son is going to be debuting this car at the Texas Motorplex for the Funny Car Chaos Funny Car Classic. That is a funny car harkening back to his dad, the son of Al Hoffman. Wayne Hoffman is going to be piloting this for the first time at the Texas Motorplex at the Funny Car Classic in late March. That is such a good-looking funny car, man.
Dude, Lee, like I'm telling you, man, I think there's a lot of guys our age, guys and girls our age, that are like, man, my dad did it, my uncle did it, my cousin did it. Like, I want to crack at this right now. And I mean, how long has that car probably been sitting in the storage or in the back shop, you know, somewhere? And they're like, yeah, who knows who's ever going to drive it? We're not selling it. It's not for sale. Multiple people have tried to buy it. And then all of a sudden, they're probably sitting around one night and they're like, man, we should take that down the track. And here walks in, ding, 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 young whoever, and they're like, I'll drive it. Like that. I mean, I'm telling you, we have to do better at getting these young kids just off of the couch, out from in front of the TV or playing video games or stuck in their cell phones, and just get them out to the garage. Because at any given time, I guarantee you there's 60 more drivers that are just sitting on the couch right now. Or there's 60 more crewmen and crew women or future crew chiefs that know a lot of this stuff. They know the EFI world. They know it. They're just like, yeah, I don't see the opportunity right now.
Sam, there's plenty of opportunity out there. One, you got to make your way to the track. You got to figure out how to get there. And I will say this, I think drag racing is in a great place with some of the moves the NHRA has made. A promoter like Chris Graves and what he's doing with Funny Car Chaos, it is filling a void in the drag racing world. What PDRA is doing, what Keith Haney in the Midwest Drag Racing Series is doing, so much, man. Drag racing is doing pretty doggone well. We don't have much to complain about, but I'm looking forward to seeing Wayne Hoffman and that car and debuting. And I think right now it's like 55, 56 funny cars have already been pre-entered for the Funny Car Classic, and we're ways off still. So I'm hoping
and they just opened.
Right.
And there's already 50.
Yeah.
Like I think it was said on another show, and actually I know it was said on another show. Wes Buck said it. Like, do you think what Funny Car Chaos is doing, what they've got going on, do you think the NHRA is like, this is something that we need to worry about?
I don't know about worry, because there is still a stigma with winning a NHRA Wally. There are plenty enough big money bracket races. There are plenty of other series right now treating racers well, but people still want to go to an NHRA drag race and at least get that one Wally. It is still prestigious. And look, I don't want to knock the NHRA. They are at the top. And I feel like, you know, one of the reasons I'm passionate about the NHRA making changes for the better from social media to competition is, though it's not much you can say about competition right now, it is so good, is I truly feel that the NHRA growing and advancing is going to allow the rest of drag racing to do that. But I think something with Funny Car Chaos and what Chris Graves has developed is, well, it is run what you brung. Maybe if there were a bit less rules within NHRA drag racing and there was a bit more room for innovation at the top level, maybe it'd be that much more interesting. And then you never know what you're going to see in Funny Car Chaos. You've got all these different body styles playing against one another. You have true nostalgia bodies. You have big show modern day funny car bodies. You have the modern day nostalgia bodies. You have the alcohol bodies all coming together. It is truly unique what he has going on, and it is working. Now, another thing that he does differently. It's the payout. It's not just a bunch of money at the top and then everybody else is getting crumbs. That's not the case. Yes, the winner does get a good purse, but if you qualify, you're going home with something in your pocket as well. Maybe that's something the NHRA needs to make sure of and look at.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't trying to stir the pot there, and I totally get what you're saying. There's a couple people down here in the comments. What is this one? The only way NHRA dies if another series adds Nitro and pays them actual money. I mean, I get that. And, you know, we know what racing is when we got into it. I mean, when you get into it, you know it's a very inexpensive sport. I mean, so yeah, are you going to get rich doing it? No. Is there a possibility to? Yes, there is. But like you said, Lee, there is something about the Wally. I mean, to me, Sam Smith rather have a Wally than go and win the Lombardi Trophy. Now, would you catch me if, let's just say, I had a yacht and Lee, you were invited? Could we throw the Wally back and forth? Yeah, if we had a few of them. You know what I mean? And that's the last Tom Brady reference I'll say for the year. But I'm just saying, you know, like there's a limit and there's a level to what you want to do. I'm just worried, like people are saying, that everyone's so worried about this money, and I get it. Like, how do we figure out how to pay these guys and girls more money with NHRA? Yes, but I mean, we're in the situation we're in, and the only way we can make it better is to continue to talk about it, to continue to grow it. And I think that's what we're doing, and I think it's becoming more and more popular. More and more people are still continuing to talk about racing, and I think if you look back a year ago, was there as many shows talking about racing every week? No, there wasn't. So if there's a time to do it, the time is now, and I think NHRA is seeing that and taking the right step.
Right. And Sam, let's also remember this. We need different series doing different things. The NHRA having the last bulwark of quarter-mile pro mod, that's not a bad thing. It's unique. The NHRA having Big Show Funny Car, where others is nostalgia, that's not a bad thing. You know, we cannot blame the NHRA for the lack of success of another series. We can also not pin the success of another series on the NHRA. I love PDRA because it's different in what they're doing, but that doesn't mean everybody's got to do what the PDRA is doing. We need these differences throughout drag racing. And that's something that I think is, in fact, beautiful about drag racing, because when I say drag racing, what do I mean? We have to begin categorizing it to some extent, even though at its purest form, it's just A to B and who gets there first. But we can say bracket racing. We can say back at the track, no prep. We can say no prep. We can say now big professional no prep. We can say NHRA professional drag racing, NHRA pro mod, PDRA pro mod, outlaw pro mod in an event where like 60 pro mods come together. I think the diversity we've got is stellar. And what you and I as fans at times have got to do is say, well, why don't we just let that series be that series and enjoy it and not knock it saying you ought to be this, when it is truly, in fact, unique on the platter of drag racing?
Because we're selfishly, and that's what's wrong with us all. That's why we can't do it. Because we're selfish, and we all want to sit here and say we want it our way because Burger King has made it easy for us to just say, this is the way I want it. I can order it on my phone, and that's why.
Did Burger King get your order wrong or something?
No. I'm kind of like Kroger sucks 42. I just wanted to pick on.
Yes.
I just wanted to pick on Burger King.
Yes,
but I mean, Burger King, we make it your way, right? I mean, you can order a Happy Meal 50 different ways. Like, that's why. Society has made it okay for us to say, well, we don't like this because they let everyone do this. And to be politically correct, you're entitled. Yes, you've always been entitled, but even more now, you're entitled to be like, well, I don't like this change, so whatever.
So this comment from Drag Racing Central, he says, the diversity makes it hard to follow for casual fans. I would agree, but the diversity I think is more of an advantage for a series as long as the series takes it upon themselves to be educational in what is happening and make it easier to become entry level and see the sport. For example, like YouTube, I'm a big proponent of that. Put it in the algorithm. Let it go in front of people who've never seen it before. Dive into the 1320 video with Dale Worsham over there in like Qatar, and you see people watching that film with Dale Worsham, and they're like, they've never seen a funny car before. And they're like, does a human being actually sit in that? They can't believe it. They've never seen it. Well, how did they first see it? It wasn't through a Fox broadcast, though thank you for your work you're doing, Fox. It was through YouTube and the algorithm doing its thing. So get the exposure out there. Make it easy to come into sport. And that's on the series, not the sport itself. If you've got the diversity, have some educational tool to make it easy to come in. Professional modified. It still doesn't sound right.
Yeah, hey, see, Mikey, that's why me and you are friends. Right there. Get it right, Lee. Come on, man. Come on. This is come on moment of the night. Get it right. It's professional modified. Put some respect on their name. Boom. Sorry.
You know what? We need to email Brett Kepner, the actual name dropper of the whole series. We need to get his opinion on it.
We call him. Call him right now. I don't care. Call him. You know what he's gonna say? He's gonna give you this answer. Lee's gonna say, well, Ricky, Brett, I was just gonna put some more gear in this thing because I needed some 456s and he looked over at him in the same voice and said, well, I mean, this thing ain't gonna do anything, but it's gonna mile per hour. Hell, he's like, yeah, I know. Well, I just gotta try something. I mean, that's what's gonna happen. He's gonna give you a straight Ricky Smith answer, and he knows it. I guarantee you, he will say it. Put some respect. Put some respect on their name, please. Please, professional modified. That's why me and Mikey are friends.
Okay. Well, Sam, you got anything else?
Yeah, I got a whole lot more, but I mean, we don't have to talk about that. That's beyond the realms. What we need to talk about here on the show. I mean, yeah.
And speaking of shows, do you got your show going on this week? You got anybody?
No, because the night I was gonna do it, I just thought about that. I just scheduled something else on Thursday, and no. See what happens when I try and multitask and don't have my calendar in front of me.
Man,
this getting old stuff sucks.
It does. Well, look, I got a plan for Thursday night. The voice of Funny Car Chaos will be on Between the Slicks, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mr. David Ratton, he's going to be on. We're going to be chatting with him, getting his drag racing story. Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of Funny Car Chaos, the man you hear from the tower at those great events, Sam, he does a great job. I really feel like he should be up there with Al Tucci and Brian Loans and even Wes Buck and some of those great announcers we've got right now.
Man, you're saying up there with the two-chorn.
Yes, he does a great job. Does a great job.
But Lee, you said the voice. Shouldn't you say the voices of Funny Car Chaos?
No. I don't know. I'm not taking no title.
No. But you see what I did there, didn't you? I think it's now the voice.
I see what you did.
That's the voices.
No. The man has done it for 4 or 5 years just in Funny Car Chaos and not telling what else. That's why I'm getting his story. So, no, the voice. Pay some respect.
Oh, see, I like how you use my thing, pay some respect there, but you know, you won't even say professional modified. Shame.
PM to the staging lanes.
PM, professional modified.
Sam, close it out, man.
Wait, before we go, we got this funny picture. Look, man, hey, just like you're perusing social media, someone sent me this.
Yes, I saw this. It's been on several sites. I've seen it in a couple different places. When it's too cold to race in Florida, the end is near. Yes, it is. Ladies and gentlemen, it is.
And that's the perfect timing because as you're telling me to close it out, like I said, like we talked about at the beginning of the show, I think they did a phenomenal job by making that decision and saying, you know what, hey, it's unsafe for you guys to race, so we're doing what we did. To have Chad Head and Austin Prock on, like I said, I mean, that was a great show. There's a lot of information, I think, like Chad said, we're going to learn this week. Lee, Thursday night, you've got your show, The Voices of Funny Car Chaos, on the Monday Morning Racers page. So, yes, you guys go and check that out. Like, subscribe, comment, tell him how beautiful his glasses are. I think tonight was the first night that he got a compliment on his glasses and not the typical hate mail. To Bobby Bennett and the crew, thank you guys for what you do at Competition Plus. Please go over and like and listen to the Legend series. I'm Slammin' Sam, the co-host of this. You can check me out, Outlaw Performance ENT, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Go over, like, subscribe. And Slammin' Sam has his own page and his own Twitter. Just random day-by-day stuff that I'm doing. If you want to catch up on my life or whatever and racing stuff there, go ahead and like, subscribe. As always, guys and girls, we thank you for being a part of the late night show of drag racing. This is the Competition Plus Power Hour, brought to you by Competition Plus TV and Weldon Punk. So, you guys, go over and check them out. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the share button. We will see you next Tuesday night, unless you're checking out one of our shows or checking us out on the DI award show. Till next time, y'all, keep the pedal to the metal, and we will talk to you Tuesday.